Last night the sirens went off. Pitch black, broken up by chaotic lightning, illuminating our pathway as we ran through stinging hard rain to get to our storm shelter in the backyard. That tornado siren sound hits different when you've heard it before, when you've actually lived through a tornado. A couple years ago we had a fatal tornado pass right by my house and hit a nursing home. So anyways, I grabbed my family, we opened the heavy steel door, and we climb into our safe little concrete hole in the ground, while the sky tried to tear itself apart. And guess what? Tonight they're calling for more, and it's this way every single spring. It's what we call tornado season. So this isn't theory, this is how you actually survive tornado season, especially if you live in Tornado Alley. A couple years ago, someone in my town had their house entirely leveled, but there was still a steel emergency panic room standing, and that's the only thing that saved the family. On the flip side of that, I also remember hearing about the tornado that wiped out an entire family. A bloodline wiped off the face of the earth from one single storm they never saw coming. And most people think tornado survival is luck, but it's not. It's all about what you do before the sirens go off. Because once that thing is on the ground, you're not going to outsmart it, you're not going to predict its path, and you're not going to outrun it. You're either already safe or you're in trouble. The biggest mistake people make is they treat tornado sirens as background noise, as tornado suggestions. They hear it, they go out on their porch, they grab their phone, they film the green sky, thinking they'll have time to run back into their closet where they'll huddle safely until it passes. And let me tell you, that's not a plan. That's a death wish. And you'd be amazed at how many people who grew up here and they do that. That's how people die. So let me make this clear. If you live in tornado country and you don't have a plan and you don't have any kind of shelter, you are gambling with your life. You're gambling with your family's life. Best case scenario is you have something like I've got in my backyard, or something like I have on the side of my house, which is a community bunker. The one in my backyard belongs to me. The community bunker obviously does not. It just happens to be right next door. Mine is about the size of a jail cell. It's reinforced concrete with steel rebar. It's almost completely in ground. It has a heavy steel door, as mentioned before. The half a foot concrete holds temperature pretty cool, but not freezing year-round. And the thing is, the way I see it, it's not just a tornado shelter. And the scenario of nuclear warfare, it could be a fallout shelter. And yeah, it's a lot of work, and if you don't have one, it could be a few grand to get one bought and installed. But how much is your family really worth to you? How much is your life worth? And sure, you could just not live in Tornado Alley, but that's not an option for some of us. And that's not what the video is about. So here's the truth. You can build your own shelter with cinder blocks, concrete, and rebar right at home. Rent a backhoe, or if you're brave enough, do it by shovel with a few friends. You know, when you rent one of those backhoes from Home Depot, they don't even find out if you know how to use the thing. I found out recently. They just rent it to anybody and leave it up to you to figure out the gears and such. So my guess is your work's probably not going to be beautiful, but it might be enough to keep you alive. And if you don't have that, then you need to know your fallback options. Your next best option is going to be a basement. If you don't have that, you need an interior room with no windows, a hallway, windowless bathroom, closet, but stay away from windows and exterior walls. And for the love of God, don't try to ride it out in a mobile home. You might as well be in a gingerbread house. Now, this is where a lot of you are going to fail. You're going to think survival is all about getting underground. No, it's also about what happens after. Because a tornado doesn't just destroy your home, it destroys infrastructure. Power goes out, water gets cut, roads are blocked and destroyed. So I keep what I call a storm bucket, about 2 weeks worth of water and food inside my shelter. Not because I'm paranoid, but because I've seen things go sideways around here. I've seen the devastation up close firsthand. So for water, you're going to need 1 gallon per person per day. So think about how many days your stash is going to be worth and do the math accordingly. You're also going to need some shelf-stable foods that mice and rats aren't just going to gnaw through. So things like canned foods, don't forget the can opener. Rice, beans, MREs, just keep them in a plastic airtight container. You're also going to need lights, batteries, headlamps, flashlights, and a basic medical first aid kit, because walking through rubble, you are very prone to get injuries. You're going to need to be able to treat them on the site. You're going to need some form of communications. We just keep a cheap battery-powered radio. It has a long telescopic antenna that picks up a whole lot of channels very clearly, even in the basement, in the bunker. Because your phone might be dead. It's probably going to be useless. And another thing people overlook is comfort for kids. Keep a deck of cards, some Uno cards, toys, something to keep kids distracted. Because these can be very traumatic situations from children. And things like that matter more than you think. So what happens when the moment comes and you know a tornado is going to hit? It's coming. You don't hesitate. You don't go outside and try to see it or try to film it. It's not worth a few Facebook likes. Period. If you've never heard a tornado pass over you, that sound is something different. Like a locomotive train mixed with a lion's roar. It's not like the movies. It's deeper and louder. It's as if the sky is grinding itself apart. And every atom in your body is going to want to panic. That's normal. But panic gets people killed. So take a breath and think clearly. You stay low. You stay covered. You wait it out. You don't open that door until it's clear. Now, what about after the storm? Should you let your guard down now? No, it's not over. You've got down electric power lines, gas leaks, sharp debris everywhere. But also you have secondary storms coming through. Especially these days, tornadoes tend to come in packs. So you move carefully and you check for injuries. And don't assume that help is coming right away. Especially if there's a lot of devastation. That's why being prepared matters, because sometimes you are the help. You are the first responder. And that bunker in my backyard, that's not about fear. It's about having control in a place where things get out of control very fast. So now I prepare, because I've got a wife and kids. And when those sirens go off, I don't want to hope and pray that we make it. I want to know that we will. Tornadoes don't give a shit who you are. They don't care if you're ready. But you should have a plan, even if it's small. Stock something. Start there. Non-perishable food and water. It's not enough, but it's a start. It's your foot in the door. Because when that siren goes off in the middle of the night, you won't rise to the occasion. You will fall to your level of preparation. So to do a quick recap, don't travel in cars. Get low. Cover your head especially. Get underground if at all possible, a basement, a bunker, a cellar. And if not, get into an interior room with no windows. And get low. Stack mattresses on top of yourself if at all possible. And I pray that you never need to know any of this stuff. Stay sharp out there.